Sweet. Thank you everyone for joining that Zoom meeting today about Atmosphere Resorts and Spa. Let me give you a little heads up what the resort is all about, or when it was actually established. So as you see here on the screen, everything is green and full of nature, and that was exactly the same spot where Atmosphere Resorts over here is standing now. So it was a coconut plantation before, and about 15 years ago, the owners Matt and Gabi, both from the UK, decided to start their own resort. So they bought the coconut farm. Matt is the architect, and Gabi is a petty course director with a long history and experience in hotel management. So both of them, they found each other in Boracay, said, great, let's move to Negros Island and build our own resort. And that is what they did 2008. So 2008, it was the beginning of the resort. And since then, every year something has changed. New rooms are coming up, another pool, another dive boat, the dive center became bigger, and so there's continuous progress in developing the resort. Okay. They are actually living on the property. So if you see that roof over here, that is actually their house. So they live right in the middle of the resort together with their two kids, Ethan and Chloe. But now you might be interested on how you actually get all the way from the States to here, to the Philippines. And it is pretty easy, to be honest. There are direct flights from the US going straight into Manila. And from Manila over here, there's only a small short flight down to Negros Island. That's the bigger island over here. We have the airport about 25-30 kilometers away from us, so it takes us only about 40 minutes from the airport to the resort. From Manila to the airport, it's a short flight, about 1 hour and 20 minutes. On some days, you can go straight through from the States to Manila, to Dumaguete. Maybe on the way back or maybe on the way in, you might have to stay one night in Manila. For some people, that might be, oh no, I don't want to do that. Honestly, nowadays, Manila, especially Makati area or BGC, what they call it in another area, it's absolutely high standard with top class restaurants and bars where you can go out. But also, if you had such a long flight, you might just crash into the hotel, and there are 3 absolute great hotels very close to the airport that you can actually just walk into the terminal, into the plane, and fly down here. Okay. And why do you want to come over here? Look at it. I mean, do I have to say anything else? If you're a passionate diver and you love critters and you are an underwater photographer, you find everything what you need down here in Darwin. Yeah, we have a beautiful mix in the Darwin coast, for example. We like to compare us with some areas in Bali or Lembeh Strait, where you have dark sand, you have a lot of critters over there. But the nutritions in the water we have here are very rich. So we get a lot of these critters and baby frogfish and octopuses and scorpionfish and seahorses and. But the coast along Darwin is not only filled with sand. Yeah, so for example, we do have a house reef, yeah, with beautiful coral areas, coral blocks, and there are plenty of areas where they start building artificial reefs. So there's a lot of fish life over there, and yes, it is a great mix, especially with the connection or combination of Apo Island, which is very close by. If you like macro, I mean, like tiny little things, then you see, for example, that little fella here. When I move Jane around a little bit. Sorry, Jane, you're in the way.
Push me out of the way.
So these kind of tiny frogfish, or the tiny flamboyant cuttlefish, or hairy shrimps, Here the pygmy squid got cleaned by a skeleton shrimp. So there's a lot of diversity down here, and our dive guides are super experienced, and that is one of them. A very good friend of mine at the same time. His name is Babette, and it is what can I say, a typical story about Babette. Babette started 2008 when the resort was established and running as a maintenance gardener. Yeah, so he was just cutting the greens, the lawns here in the resort. Of course, after a year or two, it gets a little bit boring. So he moved into the compressor room and started filling tanks. And after that, he became part of the dive crew. Yeah, so he'd been on the boat and helping the guests. So he has the entire experience. And nowadays, he is a full-on dive master and one of the best we have in the resort. And as you can see here, he's happy to help you to carry your camera, but also guide you underwater and give you the exact spots and for you to take the best pictures. Yeah. One thing here, which is also great news on our house reef, we have the only sea fan where we find pygmy seahorses along the entire coast, which we know of, or all the other dive centers. About half a year ago, January, maybe December, a bit longer, there were no more pygmy seahorses. Absolutely none. They were all gone, and we've been really, really sad about it. Maybe the effects we have at the moment that we don't have any divers over here. We've been checking down there last week. It is down on 28, 29 meters. We counted 10. Yeah, and one is pregnant. So they're all coming back, and we are super happy and excited about it. We call it house reef. As I mentioned, it's not only sand over here and mud diving. We do have some nice corals. And I like to show you a short video about the house reef so you know what you can expect when you go down here. Okay, and that is only the house reef, and that was filmed only on 2 days. Then I mentioned earlier Apo Island, and Apo Island is one of the oldest sanctuaries we have here in the Philippines. That means there has ever been any dynamite fishing. There is no net fishing. The only people who are allowed to go fishing there are actually the inhabitants of the island. So it's not overfished, and therefore the corals are in absolute great shape. The amount of fish is unbelievable. And what is also very special over here, we have cleaning stations around Apo Island. That means we do know that turtles do travel a long way from Indonesia, from Malaysia into the Philippines. And we know that Apo Island is basically a cleaning and resting area for them. So every day on every dive, you have like about in average 10 turtles you will see. And you usually see them sleep, getting cleaned, or eat. Very easy life. Yeah. Before, at one point, they hit the current, and who knows where it takes them. Another highlight over here is actually 2 big schools of jacks we have on the western side of on the eastern side of the island. And usually there's a bit of a current, but having these schools over just above you is unbelievable. Yeah, it's really, really, really nice. What makes it easy over there is, I mentioned drift diving, and some people will say, no, oh, I don't like the current and being dragged along underwater, but the diving here is really, really easy. Wherever you jump in, you just go with the current, and actually on Apo Island there are only like 2, maybe 3 dive sites which have current. Excuse me. And you will just jump in, the current will take you, and you will just drift along the entire reef. You see the turtles, you see the schools of jacks, you see barracudas, tunas, and so there's a lot to see. And at the end of the dive in the shallows, the boat will be waiting there for you and just pick you up. Yeah, so there's nothing for you, long surface swims or anything like that. If you say now, yeah, great, I'm a hardcore diver and I like to go out diving as much as possible, but maybe my wife doesn't or my partner doesn't, that is not a problem, because first, the Darwin Coast and also Apo Island are fantastic snorkeling sites as well. Yeah, and as soon as we have one single snorkeler on the boat, we also have a snorkel guide over there who will go into the water with the snorkeler and actually show them the underwater life. Okay. Also for photographers, yeah, I mentioned the macro diving along the Darwin Coast, but here you have the chance to really some great, stunning wide angle pictures. Yeah, if it's the jacks or the just in general, the entire reef, it's such intact and full of colors. You will be enjoying it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. For Apo Island, I also have a little video for you. I don't want to make the videos too long because, yes, moving footage is much nicer, and but after 3-4 minutes, it's just too much. So I keep my movies very, very short. So you just have an overview, and if you have any questions later, we can do that after the presentation. Okay, then here we go, Apo Island. Okay, so you have an idea how a day trip to Apo Island can look like. Usually we do, as it says here, we do two dives over the. You have breakfast together, you jump.
Oh, Oliver, we're losing you slightly. Are you there? Oliver, don't do this to me. Looks like we've got some issues with Oliver's internet right now. So let's see if we can get him back. Oliver? Okay, guys, let's just hang for a second. Steve, do you see Oliver anymore?
No, I just unlocked the room again so that he can, if he got pushed out, he can try and come back in.
Okay, good.
But I don't see him coming
Like
back yet.
David just said, thank you, David. He said, we have a deco stop right now. So everyone just do your little deco stop.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I don't see
So,
him.
you want to remind everybody about our sale this weekend, Jay?
Absolutely. Everyone, we have a big once a year sale. It happens to be this weekend, September 19th and 20th. Best pricing of the year. So anything you need, now is the time to purchase. And the store hours, Saturday 10 to 6 and Sunday 12 to 5. So we hope that you guys can stop by and we'll see you then. We don't have any other presentations yet this evening. You can all go watch the Broncos game if you so choose. And we do have all the rest of our seminars on our websites, dreamweavertravel.com and weaversdive.com. Right on the websites, you can click and sign up for all the seminars that are left to come. We've got 3 every single night and 4 on Thursday. So there's still plenty to go to. And also everyone who has attended a seminar will also be entered into the grand prize drawing. Again, that is on Saturday, the September 19th, and you do not need to be present to win that. Okay, that's all the fill I got, Weaver. So one thing, while we do have a break in the action, I know that our ScubaCon every year is our anniversary sale. This will be Steve's 37th year in business, 37 years of scuba in Boulder, Colorado, which is pretty crazy.
Thank you.
This has been a weird and wild and strange and difficult year. But Steve, we love you and thanks for hanging in there and taking care of us. And here's to better days ahead.
Yes, indeed. I need to go diving. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't been diving since January, and that's been the longest stretch of time in 40 years for me to have between a dive trip. So I'm kind of a little anxious to go. So I'll use this opportunity for a shameless pitch. I just set up a trip to go to St. Lucia because St. Lucia is open, and it's just received the lowest rating by the CDC, the lowest COVID rating, which is level 1, which means that there's either reduced cases of COVID or stabilized cases. Only 8 other countries in the world have received that rating by the CDC. So St. Lucia has a low COVID rating. It's open, which is a key element to people being able to go there. And the lovely Enchanté Resort, which I know a bunch of you have been to before, is just an amazing place. The diving is very colorful and beautiful. We just saw on Facebook, they had these big schools of silversides that have been out there, these gigantic schools of silversides, which I'm hoping I'll be able to see. Anyway, long story short, I put on a trip for November 7th to the 14th. And anybody that's interested in going diving this year yet, it's fairly easy to get to. There's United, American, and JetBlue all have flights there that are fairly easy, one stop on the way. And it's a reasonably priced trip. We've got it at $24.99 for 7 nights, accommodations, diving, food, transfers, taxes, basically everything except alcohol. Even non-alcoholic beverages are included. And they've upgraded us for free to the air-conditioned beach rooms, which is a nice bonus. So I think we have 4 of those rooms still available at this point. I've sold the rest. I've got, I think, 10 people right now that are going with me. So if anybody's interested, the details are on our website. You can give us a call tomorrow. Get your credit cards out, get your fins out, and let's go diving. Well,
So I've had a couple questions. Some people asking what is the grand prize. Since it is our 37th year anniversary, it is $3,700 off a trip on board the Dewey Nusantara, which is the most beautiful boat on the
Yeah,
planet.
Pam Lemon, Dewey Nusantara.
And it is in Indonesia. That is the grand prize. And when we pick the winner, we will contact them that day on Saturday. So a couple of you have asked me what that is and how you will be contacted when you win, which I like that positive attitude. And also all of you that do win throughout the week, we will be contacting you next week with your prizes and your vouchers for your prizes. So you'll have all of that early next week. Oh, I see Oliver's back.
He's
Hello.
back.
Sorry,
Hi,
that
Oliver.
wasn't me.
Did you need a little birthday break?
A little birthday break. I thought you kicked me out because you want to get rid of me because of my funny German accent.
We thought you went to get a cocktail or something.
Oh, I wish. It's still a little bit too early for that. No, sorry. We just had a little internet interruption. I'm back online.
So I have oh, now I can see you again. Perfect.
Awesome.
Thanks, Oliver.
Sorry for that.
We've just been doing some shameless plugs, so you're fine.
Oh, lucky me. Okay, shall I just continue? I don't know where it was interrupted. Was it with the Apo video or when did it stop?
Yeah, we saw that. We saw the Apo video, so it's after that.
Okay, then let me continue. Now I need to go back all the way, Apo video and our seasons. Exactly, that is where I stopped, right?
Perfect.
There's always the question when to come and when not to come, what to see and what not to see. It really depends on you, what you like to have during your stay, basically. Yeah. If you look over there, December to February, it is really, really nice to come over here because you always have a nice breeze. Yeah. There will be a shower here every now and then. It happens, but it's not super, super hot. And also, at this time of the year, December, January, we start to get the so-called baby boom, or what we call it, yeah? Because a lot of animals start to lay their eggs. As you can see here, for example, the flamboyant cuttlefish is still in the egg. The tiny frogfish we also had earlier.
Oliver, are you sharing your screen? Because I only see you. I don't see your screen.
Then we do it that way.
There we go. I got you now.
Good. Okay, here we are. So here are the tiny cuttlefish still inside the egg, yeah, and that is starting in December, January. So you see more eggs, you see pregnant seahorses, you see more numbers of frogfish, and then by starting about end of February, March, April, and we can say that that exactly because we had a marine biologist here in-house who is checking what we are seeing every week of every month and makes a list to actually see what season we have. So March to June, this is our absolute high season. It is hot, there's no more wind, conditions are absolutely perfect, and also underwater. Yeah, you will see easily 10, 15 frogfish in a dive, from tiny to the mother animal. The father might be still sticking around somewhere. I do remember we had a photographer here last year in April. He was able to take pictures of a seahorse giving birth. Yeah, that was also one of his most special moments, he said, underwater. And if you like seahorses, if you like frogfish, then we first have a look at how many and how different the frogfish can be here along the Darwin coast.
Frogfish are the best.
You have to love these little fellas, right? Just frogfish are super cool, especially when they are tiny, tiny babies and you can hardly see them. But yeah, magnifying glass or a big, nice lens in front of your camera, and you can take as many good pictures as you have just seen now. Okay, then that is the first half of the year. Yeah, it's not that you only see frogfish. Yeah, there are seahorses around, there are pipefish around, there are crabs and shrimps and nudibranchs around. So there's a nice, very nice variety. And then later the year, July to August, which is now, I have to say, it was really, really good weather the last 3 months we had here, especially June, July, August. It was raining, yeah, sometimes in the evenings, normally overnight, and during the daytime, it was really nice, refreshing with a nice breeze. And the diving we were able to experience only about 2.5 months ago, when we were allowed to dive again, and the underwater life was still fantastic. Yeah. If you look now at the bottom and see that lovely wonderpuss over here, yeah, and you say, that is what I like to see. Yeah, then it would be better if you come later the year. Yeah, September, October, November, and very nice to remember. We call it the Octopus October. Yeah, that is actually the month where we see most and the most diverse amount of octopuses. We get the algae octopus, the coconut octopus, the wonderpuss, the blue ring octopus, and also the mimic octopus. So we have at least 5, 6 different species of octopus here. But these dive sites where we find them, there are usually no coral. Yeah, we have one site where the current comes together and it brings a bit of a gravel stone over there, not a fine sand. And because of all these gravels we have there at the bottom, it's so much easier for the octopus just to hide. Yeah, and when something is passing by, he can just take it out of his hole. And therefore, if you like octopus, I also have a short video of all the different little ones we can find here. Enjoy. Okay, these are all the different kind of octopuses and cuttlefishes and things you can find here along the coast. What you see here, this is our dive center, and this is also run by Atmosphere, so you can make sure it's nicely organized, the boats are leaving in time, everything is cleaned. And also over here at the bottom, we have a very big camera room right beside the equipment rooms. Yeah, we have about 20 tables over there. Everyone has enough space. There are air guns, there are cloths, so you can clean your camera equipment. And as you see here, you can carry your camera yourself, but we have plenty of staff who will do that happily for you. Yeah. Nitrox is always included, and when I say it's a full service of the dive center, the dive guide will ask you at the beginning of your stay if it's even okay to analyze the nitrox for you, but of course you can do it yourself. Yeah, they carry everything onto the boat, the tanks, your equipment, your camera. They help you to gear on, to get into the water, to get out of the water. Especially these bunker, these outrigger boats we have here in the Philippines. We have these ladders going down into the water. So sometimes it can be, it's not difficult to get up there, but you have help there. The dive guide is there. The boat crew is getting with you into the water. You might have some back problem or anything like that. Take off your BCD, your weight belt first, then the BCD, and yeah, just hand it over, and it makes it very, very easy for you to get onto the boat. Also here, our briefing area, this is the dive center. It is very spacious, it is open air, and it's just a few meters away from the actually water and the house reef. But now, you might like to know where you can actually stay. Yeah, now I explained to you everything, what you can see underwater, what you can see in upper, how the boats are like, the dive center, and. Now we come to the actually resort, okay? Atmosphere Resorts and Spa is one of the only luxury boutique dive resorts in the Philippines. And we call it barefoot luxury or flip-flop luxury. Yeah, you don't have to come with your best shoes and pants. We are, as you can see with me, we are very relaxed and easygoing. We like to have a high standard of food, of accommodation, service, good wines, and that is something I like to bring you a little bit closer. Then, for example, the dining area, we have our own bakery. Here at the bottom part, that is a new area which we just opened last year in December. Yeah, together with the one restaurant, which I will show you very, very soon. This is our beach bar. So especially during the sunset time, it is just the perfect place to hang out. Yeah, get your cocktail, sit in one of these beach lounges and just enjoy the sunset, the mountain view just behind you. So there's a nice variety in the resort also where you can sit, relax, and enjoy life. Yeah. Then this is our newest addition, that is the Breeze restaurant, which, as I mentioned, opened in December together with that beautiful pool over here. There's a nice mix of Asian Western food. Yeah, you do get your burger, you do get your pizza, but yeah, choose whatever you like. We also have it's difficult to see over here, but we have a so-called wok station. So you go with your bowl, you choose whatever vegetables you like, whatever fish, shrimps, or meat you would like to eat, and the sauce, rice, noodles, and they will cook it just right in front of you. So it's more like a show. The entire kitchen is open. You can actually see what the chef is doing behind there, and you can actually talk to him if you have any questions. Yeah. What is very important, or is getting more and more important in the world today, is, for example, catering for people who have allergies. Yeah, gluten-free bread, no garlic, no onion, and vegetarians, vegans. The good thing is we can cater you all. Just let me know, just a couple of days, maybe a week before your arrival. I will talk to the chef and he will check if we have everything in stock, or we need to order something extra for you. Yeah, especially when you need gluten-free, there is a choice for you to have a pizza, a burger, or your morning bread if you like. Then we have the Ocean Restaurant. Yeah, that is our first restaurant, which was built 2008. And with adding more and more rooms, we figured that it's getting a little bit too small. So that's why we built the other restaurant. And this one turned into a fine dining Filipino infused delicacies. Now I ask you a question. Do you know any Filipino restaurant in the States? Can't hear anything. I'm pretty sure there are none. There are, same like in Germany, in Europe, there are no Filipino restaurants. Why? The food is not the best, I tell you. I live here now almost 10 years. I tell you the food is somewhere better, for example, in Thailand, in India, or in Italy, or where else, yeah, what you can think of. But, and here's the big but, they do have some really, really nice dishes. Yeah, for example, a kinilaw, a very traditional Filipino dish made with raw fish in vinegar and then cooked in coconut milk with a few spices and vegetables. Yeah, that is really, really nice, for example, or a Bicol Express. Bicol Express you find on every single island a different version, and Denver, the chef here, made his own versions to cater the American market even more, just like to make it a bit more tasty for all of us. Yeah, and there might be a few people who have been here already in Atmosphere, and you see the smiling man over there. This is Sir Ed, our sommelier, and we do have our wine tasting room. So whenever you like to have a good glass of wine, please ask Ed, and he will recommend you or even let you try a few wines to pair it with your dinner. Okay. What else do we have? The next slide. Again, Atmosphere is catering not only for divers. Yeah, it was built from a diver to a diver, and then a few more people came on board and thought, hey, we need to do something else, something more to have even better service for our clients and guests. So that spa came in about 2 years later after the resort was open, and takes about 1,000 square meters right in the middle of the resort. We have 5 of these pavilions over here for different treatments. We do yoga, we have fitness classes, meditation, as you can see here, detox available, just like, don't ask me any questions later because honestly, I have no idea about it. But everything else, please feel free, okay? To get a little bit of an insight how the spa looks like, I also have a short video for you, because that for me is the most beautiful part of the entire resort. Enjoy. Yeah, just think about it. In the morning after a lovely breakfast buffet, you jump onto the boat, you go to Apo Island, do 2 dives over there, schools of jacks, maybe when you're lucky, even a whale shark, as you see here, turtles, beautiful coral reefs. You come back, have a nice lunch, go into the spa, get pampered over there, come out for happy hour, have a cocktail during sunset. Life can be good, I tell you. But also activities and excursions, there is a lot to see. If you might remember the first picture I showed you, where the resort is and everything around it is green, and you maybe noticed the mountain in the background, which is almost 2,000 meters high. Yeah, it is a silent, non-active volcano, but because of the volcano and activities, we do have hot springs, we do have great waterfalls which you can go and visit. We offer quad tours, and maybe you have heard of the area, it's called Oslo. It's south of Cebu, and we do offer it to swim with whale sharks. Yeah, some of you know about it already. I just like to explain that to you quickly, why we can basically guarantee you to see a whale shark over there. They get fed. Yeah, every morning the fishermen will paddle out and give them some shrimp or some plankton which they have caught overnight, and feed the whale shark. So when you're actually snorkeling, you can be just 3-4 meters away. That should be the normal social distancing to whale sharks, 4 meters. The good thing is the whale shark doesn't know about it, and they often come closer, where you have basically no way to escape, and you just enjoy the beautiful giant. Yeah. One picture down here, which I like to explain to you a little bit more in detail, it's our Atmosphere soup kitchen. Yeah. Basically, every guest who comes to Atmosphere and stays here, part of the income goes to that project. Yeah. There are more than 40 children who basically grow up on the dump site in Dumaguete. The parents are too poor to bring them to school, so they need to help them go through the entire garbage to find something they can make to money and then make to rice and food. The owners, Matt and Gabi, said, no, we don't like to see that so close to our beautiful resort, and they started the project. So now more than 40 people, 40 kids, are going to school every day. They get a warm meal, they get vitamins, they get toothpaste and brushes, and so they've really been taken care of. The parents, once a week, they come in, they cook for the kids, so it's basically not self-sufficient because we still donate, yeah, but we don't need to employ extra people. Therefore, the parents of the kids do the cooking and the cleaning in that school area. So if you're interested, let us know when you're here, and we organize a transfer for you so you can go and see it. And maybe if you have a few spare pens or books, bring them over and we can give them to the school over there. Okay? Excursions, I also have a small video for that. Here we go. So you see a little bit more of the surrounding of Atmosphere and Negros Island.
It looks great, Oliver. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think we're
Thank
just
you.
about out of time.
Oh, okay.
I've had a few questions, but you've actually answered the majority of them. One of them was how many guests are at the resort? How many does it hold?
If it's really, really, really busy and full, and that happens over Easter, Christmas, Chinese New Year, then we have about 100 guests in the resort, while it is not a big problem, to be honest, because not all of them are divers. We have a ratio of divers of about 30 to 70, 40 to 60, whereas the majority non-divers. So the dive center is really not crowded. Then you have the choice between two restaurants, the Breeze and the Ocean restaurant. People eat at different times. So the entire area is more than 12 hectares in size. So there is a lot of space. Even there's 100 people in there, you will never notice it.
That's great. That's great. I have many clients I've sent there that they rave about the food. They say it's unbelievable, which is so great to hear. So
yeah, we are very glad to have Chef Denver here. He grown up in Germany and learned everything over there. And then with his experience from Germany with the Filipino mix, and in general, his standards are very, very high. And I'm happy to hear that your guests like the food here. I do as well.
Now, one thing at this time, the Philippines is closed to U.S. tourists and pretty much tourists from anywhere in the world. And we don't have any updates on opening dates or anything like that. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. I mean, we can now speculate and say, oh, before Christmas it will open, or maybe before Easter, or maybe next week. But before we don't have any proof, I don't like to give any ideas. It's sad enough that you can't come at the moment, and it's very sad for us to see the resort empty. But we do what we can to maintain everything and yeah, come back even stronger afterwards.
Well, we can't wait till we can get there. And thank you again so much for taking this time on your birthday to be here for us all the way from the Philippines. And
I'm more than happy to do so.
Steve, we're going to throw it over to you, and it's time to spin the wheel. Oliver, one last question. The prize and what is all included in that? Okay,
so we have a prize going out to one of you, or two of you rather. It is a 3-night stay. Of course, you don't come all the way to the Philippines for only 3 nights, but it's at least something, yeah. And atmosphere is always, or Negros itself, it's always a great possibility to combine some things, yeah. If you stay maybe in Malbor or in Bohol, it's easy to make combinations. So a week here and there makes it always possible. Or if you just come at atmosphere and stay 10 days, you get 3 nights for free for 2 people, including breakfast buffet, and also 5 dives each, including night walks. If it's on the house reef or the boat dive, that is totally up to you.
Awesome. Thank you again so much, Oliver. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jane.